Hello everyone, we are back. We are finally getting to the seeds that I have had in a cold stratification period in my fridge that I kind of forgot about. So we're gonna see if they're gonna go ahead and germinate. I'm not sure. Once again, these have been in there. They're looking a little gnarly, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm not gonna let them go to waste. So I just decided, hey, why not? We're just gonna go ahead and get some 6-cell trays, our pre-moistened seed starting mix, and we're gonna give it a whirl. We're gonna see if they decide to germinate. And one is being my Hot Lips Turtlehead. I actually did with seed swapping. I was told they needed some cold stratification. So I went ahead and took half the seeds and I did winter sowing. So if all fails with the seed starting indoors, it's okay because I have a second chance with my winter sowing. They have been sitting in there since January 17th, so it hasn't been quite a month. However, I did forget to go ahead and swap out the paper towels. I found that after about a week or two, they can get a little bit on the moldy side, or they're just starting to look a little like weird. So I usually would just go ahead and take them out and transfer them onto a clean paper towel, which I forgot to do. They don't look terrible, but I didn't open up the bag and like open it up all the way. So we're gonna see. I also have my strawberry vanilla hydrangea tree seedlings that we're gonna, hope that will survive because these ones look gross. But that's okay. Again, I actually have those with my winter sowing as well, and I will just be happy if I could get one to sprout. So we're gonna go ahead and see how that looks, and yeah, that's the two that I'm going to be doing today. So we're gonna go ahead. I already pre-moistened my seed starting mix. I took some 6-cell trays, and we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed and maybe something might bloom or grow. Now I have some notes on the Hot Lips Turtlehead because I have never grown it before. But what I'm very excited about is that it can tolerate some shade. I do have a big section of my house that gets shade all day long. It can do partial sun as well, but the fact that it can go ahead and do shade is going to be great because that spot is just going to be bare. No matter what I do, I just need to go ahead and find things that are just basically full shade to almost partial shade. So it says it is a snapdragon-like flower. It can get up to 2 feet wide and 3 feet tall. It is deer resistant, which actually being in the woods, I am shocked that I have never seen a deer here. We have seen some black bears. And then I have my bunny that lives, I'm pretty sure, underneath my deck that eats all my flowers that I'm gonna have to see if I can deal with this year. But yeah, so they're deer resistant. They attract bees and birds and butterflies, and it actually requires wet soil. And if you live somewhere where you don't have wet soil, it's just gonna need a lot of water, which I'm thrilled about because we actually do have a section in our house that we need to add more soil to because it gets so waterlogged and it puddles really bad. So it's nice to know that I can go ahead and put these the side of my garage is where I plan on putting it. I have 2 sides of the house that gets mainly shade, a little bit of sun. So I plan on putting these along the tree lines there just to give it a little bit of a pop of color. And it is a perennial, which again, thrilled about. So we're gonna go ahead and do our Hot Lips Turtlehead flowers. And hopefully they won't be too bad. All right, so I went ahead and I filled 3 of these clear 6-inch cell trays. And I have my marker. Again, they have been in the fridge for about, 3+ weeks or so, since January 17th. So today is February 9th. And okay, so almost a month. Yeah, I forgot about them. Life gets to you. You have so many things, what can you do? All right, so so they're actually, okay, cool. They're actually not terrible. Maybe it's just deceiving because of how they look through the bag and the seeds are a darker brown that it makes me think when I peek at them that they're moldy. So I am actually thrilled. I'll get a nice close-up. So they actually look fine. I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 to 2 per cell. And I'm going to just go ahead and make sure I press them in lightly, so that way I can coat them with some vermiculite. You always want to make sure that they go ahead and have some contact with the soil. None of them are sprouting, which is nice. Because then I would have felt really bad that I forgot about them. But I had that with my hollyhocks, actually. I kind of, again, forgot about them, because when you are a busy mom of two, you know, sometimes you forget. I really need to do a better job actually like writing down when I have to go ahead and pull things out, because I do have a master list of how I stay organized. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check out that video. It is with the Planter app. It gives you basically when you should start everything. So I went ahead and just made basically a master list of any flower, vegetable, or herb. And I kind of tweaked it a little bit. I knew like my tomatoes, I wanted to start a few weeks earlier than the 6 to 8 week mark, because I want a big jump. I don't want to go ahead and have as many green tomatoes, hopefully, as I did last season towards the end of the year. So I'm just hoping that if I do start them a little bit earlier, then I'll have a little bit better luck and I won't have as many green tomatoes. So I'm just going through these and just trying to place 1 or 2 per cell. And again, I'm just pushing them down lightly. I'm sorry, I'm not moving the camera. I am feeling a little bit lazy today. We've had a whirlwind of birthday parties this weekend. I had hosted one yesterday. Then we went to one of my daughter's classmates today. And I still have to get more winter sowing. I actually am going to use all those seeds that I got, not all of them, but all the poppies and any other perennial from my free heirloom seeds. Again, if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead. It is a great resource. If you are on a tight budget, they are going to go ahead and give their free lists out in March. They're going to start fulfilling them, I should say. I went ahead and did the donation, so I got mine in a week and a half, which was great. So I have to winter sow poppies. So this morning and last night, I was going ahead and trying to get that set up, clean out the milk jugs, you know, cut them in half, put the drainage holes in just before I started doing these. It's exhausting, but we're going to make it work because it's all going to be worth it. All right, I almost have, some of them might have 3. Again, I'm hoping that these will germinate. So I'm just going to be happy with whatever I get at this point. That's my whole outlook in this. I am still learning. I am by no means an expert or pro. So I am just going off basically whatever I research, or for seed swapping, I always ask questions, because if they harvested these seeds, usually they'll let you know. They can go ahead and give you some information. And like she was even very, very keen on these have to have cold stratification. So I have all 3 of them in. I put 2 to 3. I'm going to go ahead and spritz them in. I'm going to do it over here with my dirt. And I made sure I pushed them all in so they had contact. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put some vermiculite on top. And then we're going to do the same thing with the hydrangeas, which I'm kind of worried about opening. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of thinking those ones might be a little bit of a lost cause. So we shall see. We shall see. All right, last one. Just again, misting them in so they are settled, and I will cover with vermiculite and probably just mist them really quick as well. So I'll see you in a minute. So they are ready to go. They all look like this. I put some vermiculite on top. I'm going to go ahead and get them under the humidity dome. I'm going to have it set at around 72, 73 degrees. During the day, it does get a little bit warmer when I have the lights on. But we're going to get them all snug as a bug in there. And then we're going to go ahead and see and open up our hydrangea tree seeds. I'm a little nervous. All right. Are you ready to open these with me? I haven't peeked. I am literally just going off the fact that that looks disgusting. Do I need gloves to touch this? I don't know. Let's see here. Ooh, okay. Definitely has some mold on it. They're looking a little gross, but guess what? We're gonna try them anyways. I was told to heavily seed these because the germination rate on them is actually not the best. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and some of them are literally and little clumps. I'm just gonna go ahead, put some clumps every which way, give my hands a good wash after, and I'm gonna go ahead and bury these with a little bit more seed starting mix. Now, for how gross this towel looks, they actually don't feel like squishy or, you know, they're rotted. They actually still have a nice firm texture. I mean, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can hold it. So they are like super duper small. Again, some of them are in clumps. So she just said to heavily sow. She has had some success. She's had this tree for quite a while. She has gifted some people with some seedlings. I don't know. We're just going to shoot for the stars with this one. Again, I love this tree. When I would go to nurseries and I would see like a $250 price tag on them, I didn't love them as much anymore, but they are beautiful. Our neighbor has a plethora of them. They just look, oh, stunning, stunning, stunning when they're all in like the full bloom. We got some strawberry hydrangea bushes or shrubs, and I can't wait for those to go ahead and grow out because I just love hydrangeas. I think they're so pretty. Oh my goodness, we are just going to town. I'm just taking it, I guess, full on. And I'm sorry, again, I am not moving my camera. And you probably can't see them, but I promise you, I am just like heavy loading these. I'm gonna go ahead and put a tiny bit of my seed starting mix on. And then we're gonna go ahead and get these under, or I should say on top of the heat mat, but I guess under the lights as well. Honestly, I didn't even look to see if it needs light to germinate. I'm kind of just doing this on the fact that it is nap time and my 1-year-old is sleeping. So I have nap time to try and get all of my seed starting. And I usually can go ahead and get away with my winter sowing in the kitchen if someone ends up waking up, because my daughter definitely loves to help me with my winter sowing. But I'll spare you another winter sowing video. I cannot wait. I've been just watching people go ahead and give their, you know, winter sowing updates, you know, from last year, just so I can kind of see what to expect, because this is my first year winter sowing. Super excited. All right, these are almost, I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of vermiculite, and I did top it off, and let's just pray also that none of the seeds fell in there, because I will be using this seed starting mix for other things. And I'm always very nervous that a seed's gonna drop in or something, and then I'm gonna have something grow with something else, and I'm not gonna know what it is. All right, vermiculite is going on, and I'm gonna go ahead and label, and we're gonna get them on the heat mat. We now have our vermiculite on. I already went ahead and misted them in, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we will have some kind of germination between these two seeds. I'm sorry this was something really quick. I was just like, oh my gosh, I was getting some food out of the fridge. I'm like, and there are 2 bags that I totally forgot to go ahead and plant. So we're gonna see if either of these are gonna germinate. Again, fingers crossed. You know, with life, you kind of just forget about things, and then you know what, you get reminded. So we can just hope for the best. If you want to see if they actually end up germinating in, I don't know, a couple days, few weeks. I was very unprepared, and I actually don't know how long things take to germinate. Usually I try and get a little bit of information to help you guys out. But we're just gonna see. I will keep you guys tuned, so go ahead and like and subscribe, so that way you can see if me forgetting about these seedlings in the fridge, you know, really ruined my chances of this beautiful tree or these nice shaded plants. You can just stay tuned, and thanks again for joining. Fingers crossed again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.